Hello, welcome to Proteals Productions channel. Do you want to subscribe to my channel before traveling to the climax of information again today? If you want to know about the upcoming videos, don't forget to click on the bell. Welcome, dude. Let's start. Coronavirus. It's all our fearful dreams. Except for people in a coma on Earth, he did not remain without hearing his name. Even an International Space Station. For some it is a sudden cause of wealth. Others are unable to pay their debts. Today I will share with you the unknowns of the coronavirus, when to control it, and its medications. The coronavirus, which originated in Wuhan, China, causing the disease called COVID-19, spread to all continents except Antarctica. Although everyone shares it as if it was true, the thesis that this virus uses pangolins as intermediate hosts has not been proven yet. In February 2020, Chinese researchers found that there is only one amino acid difference in certain parts of the genome sequences between the viruses from pangolins and those from humans. However, whole genome comparison to date found at most 92% of genetic material shared between pangolin coronavirus and SARS-CoV-2, which is insufficient to prove pangolins to be the intermediate host. Some details about how the disease is spread are still being determined. The WHO state that it is primarily spread during close contact and by small droplets produced when people cough or talk, with close contact being within 1 to 3 meters 3 feet 3 and 9 ft 10 in. A study in Singapore found that an uncovered coughing can lead to droplets traveling up to 4.5 meters 15 feet. Respiratory droplets may also be produced during breathing out, including when talking. Though the virus is not generally airborne, the National Academy of Science has suggested that bioaerosol transmission may be possible, and air collectors positioned in the hallway outside of people's rooms yielded samples positive for viral. While there are concerns it may spread by feces, this risk is believed to be low. The bacteria divide in half and multiply faster. In order for the virus to reproduce, it must transfer the genetic information to the cell it enters and direct the cell. However, coronavirus is a positive RNA virus. This means that after entering the cell, it can reach 10,000 copies in 1 hour without having to modify itself. It is also frightening to smear it with aerosols like every flu. Even passing through a sick person's place within 4 hours can make you ill, even if at a low probability. Also, a cat appears to have caught the coronavirus in Belgium, but it's complicated. There is no evidence that cats can transmit the virus to people. Common symptoms include fever, cough, and shortness of breath. Other symptoms may include muscle pain, sputum production, diarrhea, sore throat, loss of smell, and abdominal pain. While the majority of cases result in mild symptoms, some progress to viral pneumonia and multi-organ failure. In March 2020, a statistical study in China stated that 81% of the cases were able to survive without developing pneumonia, and easily 14% of the cases were challenging and could be fatal if not taken to intensive care units. 5% cases of septic shock, multiple organ failure were defined. The total mortality rate in China is 2.3%. However, in a study conducted by Johns Hopkins on April 4, the total mortality rate was 5.3% of confirmed cases. Perhaps you already knew about the virus. Scientists are still working very hard. So what does the statistics say? When will this virus weaken? Of course, exponential growth cannot continue forever, because the people that the virus can infect will be exhausted, or viruses will be exhausted. Approximately 7.5 billion people live in the world. If all this virus spreads to all of humanity, 400 million people will leave us. But we hope that it will not be so. This graph shows all countries traveling along the trajectory of exponential growth, and it makes it super obvious which ones have managed to stop the exponential spread of disease. Every country that takes similar measures will follow the same path. For example, Italy took the measures late and kept them weak, so he followed a more difficult path. But even gratifying, Italy and Spain started to decline. Together with international organizations, awareness and measures, each country will somehow follow this graph. However, this does not mean you can go to Rome the next month on vacation. It will take a year for the world to survive this scourge and for every country to wave the victory flags. Do not be afraid. As humanity, we are stronger than viruses. Just know what to do. And do not underestimate your enemy. You will see, we will win. Now I want to talk about the drugs of the coronavirus. Some medical professionals recommend paracetamol, acetaminophen over ibuprofen for first-line use. The WHO does not oppose the use of non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs (NSAIDs) such as ibuprofen for symptoms, and the FDA says currently there is no evidence that NSAIDs worsen COVID-19 symptoms. While theoretical concerns have been raised about ACE inhibitors and angiotensin receptor blockers, as of the 19th of March 2028, these are not sufficient to justify stopping these medications. Steroids such as methylprednisolone are not recommended unless the disease is complicated by acute respiratory distress syndrome. So, basically, the medical world authorities are at war with each other. Drug development is one of the most difficult and expensive jobs in the world. Difficult chemical reactions are not raw materials. The process. Let's think you have developed a drug, and the direct coronavirus heals infected cells with a talisman, which is almost impossible. You still do not know what this medicine will do in pregnant women. Or if an elderly person takes this medicine, you do not know if their kidneys will failure. In a young patient, you do not know whether this drug will be stored in muscles or bones and will cause other diseases after 5 to 10 years. Therefore, drugs are developed with a very complex 5-phase system. And it takes years. The slightest mistake can turn you back on the last day. Understanding its effects can take a lifetime. Although this process will accelerate in times of epidemic, it is certain that it will reach the end of 2020 at least. So the best thing we can do is take our own precautions. It has been rare in history that one person changed the whole world. But every person can change their world. Let's finally talk about the precautions. Social isolation is paramount. The best measure is to never to get caught. Thousands of doctors are sick every day. Despite taking the best precautions, there is a rule in the military. If you landed on the field, you showed your life. That is why the most profitable from wars are always those who watch from afar. So stay away from your loved ones. Remember, hard times require great sacrifices. Many Chinese are worried that the virus will spread again. Fear continues, although the cases have decreased. Experts say that the next 3 months are very important for the spread of the virus. We have no doubt that we will overcome this as humanity and love each other. Now billions of people are waiting for good news and pessimism. Friends are there for such days. My next video will be on the effects of the global outbreak on world economies. Is the age of abundance over? Can capitalism pass this test? Stay on track. The sources of all the information in this video are stated in the description. You can post comments to make corrections or ask questions. Thank you for taking your precious time. If you want, you can take a look at my previous videos. If you are still not subscribed, you can subscribe to and like the video. See you in the next video. Ciao ciao.